to pressurize the government. That's the excuse they'll give you to say. They don't pressurize us.
Yeah, thank you very much, comrade. One of the reasons why, as young people, me, him, and other progressive young people have decided that on the 22nd of this month, with or without the permission of the police, we as young people are going to protest. It is because of the issues that we have just talked about. And that's a signal that we as young people are very much concerned about issues to do with, one, the racism that is being practiced by some certain Chinese.
Absolutely.
These are the Chinese that are suffocating our Zambian workers, and they are doing that with impunity, and the Ministry of Labor is seeing that and siding with them. We are not colonized by China. We are not a Chinese protectorate. We are not a Chinese colony. These are the issues we've said. The other issues that we are talking about is the issues of power. Me, I come from Mrs. Compound. I'm in the ward which is headed by the daughter of the president, Honorable Tasela Lungu. And there we see load shedding happening. It is just located in the Central Business District. Talking about power, Zambia needs 2,800 megawatts of power for us to have power. But what we've seen is that ZESCO has not invested so much to give us this number of this outage of power. What is happening is that from the 2,800 megawatts of power, 300 megawatts of power is going is being exported outside the country. We've seen that from the 2,800 megawatts of power, ZESCO is not expanding its capacity, because what we are seeing is that every day that comes, new households, new people are being connected to the grid. They cheated us that the issue of power borders on the issue of Kariba Dam, but in the Kariba Dam now we've got enough water. It is not about the Kariba Dam. It is the shortage of supply. The demand is too much high. The demand that we need right now as a country, it is over 3,000 megawatts of power and above. But what ZESCO can only afford, it is this. And that is the reason why it is practically impossible. Did you know that if all of us in this country, we were to be supplied with power, this country would be in a total blackout, because the machinery and the power demand cannot afford us, all of us at the same time, to have power. ZESCO has to road shade certain households and certain places for them to manage this power. Why are we exporting power to other countries if we've got a power shortage? These are the issues as young people that we'll be protesting about. Issues to do with poverty. We've seen how the dollar has skyrocketed. Zambia now is the 5th angriest country in the world. We are number 5, the worst angriest country. We are not proud now to be called Zambians because we're the 5th. We are in a waste crisis where the cost of minimum has gone up. We are in a waste crisis where having 100 kwacha or 1,000 cannot secure you a living. Talking about jobs, we'll be protesting. I'll be one of those people on the 22nd of this June who'll be protesting against jobs because, one, our government has not arrested and convicted permanent secretaries, ministers, and directors of various ministries that put up 2,000 and 5,000 ghost workers. We've got teachers right now, who have graduated with degrees and diplomas in the education sector. They cannot find these jobs. The reason why they cannot find these jobs, it is because their jobs have been taken over by ghost workers. That is corruption at its highest level. And that is why we are saying that these issues, we do not have jobs as young people, not because there are no jobs in this country, but it is because of a few corrupt individuals who have taken over jobs. They have given jobs to their sons. The other issue is, of course, on the issues of the gassing. My friend has just elaborated to you about how unprofessional the police service has become. I'm sorry to mention that right now we do not have a police service. What we have is a police force. Why? Because whenever you and me as young people
are protected.
We are not protected, comrade. When you and me as young people want to voice out, police land dogs on our chests. Police, they'll come with water cannons. They have already told us that if you are going to protest on the 22nd of June, we are going to break your bones.
You and me.
Let me tell you.
Knowing that you're seated
let me tell you
right now,
yes.
As you're saying that, do you have that
we
fear?
Do not have that fear. And we have announced.
You expect to vehemently protest against certain failures that the government has just put in place.
we are going to protest, and we have already categorically made it clear that we'll be protesting without a bulletproof. We'll be protesting about these issues. Now, coming to the issue of the police, comrade, my friend has explained to you about what we did. We were the three of us. We wanted to protect, and we wanted to protest, and we wanted to follow the law. We wrote a letter requesting, notifying the police of our planned intention to protest. What did we do? We were handcuffed, brutally, received by the police, and we were thrown in the cells. Our phones were confiscated, and on top of that, our phones were wiped without our consent. We stayed in police custody for 3 days for a crime we did not do, for simply delivering a letter of protest. That tells you about how unprofessional the police is. They cannot give us a report about who was responsible for the gassing. You must understand that the police were arresting suspects of gassing. The police were arresting people suspected of what? Gassing. Where are those people? Have they been tried before the court of the courts? Where are those people? When is the judgment coming for those people who were arrested in connection with gases? The president told us that there is going to be an inquiry to find out who was responsible for the gases. Our President Hakainde Hichilema, went to a radio station, and cadres came in there. And when they came in there, they harassed everyone, attacked everyone, and eventually there is a peculiar incident that happened. The incident that happened was that the press was gassed, comrade. The press was gassed. This simply means that these are the same people. These are the same cadres that are in connection with issues to do with gassing. So when we talk about participation of young people in politics, we are trying to say that it is our duty as young people to voice out, with or without intimidation. One of the last thing that we want to protest about here, it is the issue of the Bring Back Our God. We cannot talk about empowerment as young people without natural resources of this country belonging to the Zambian people. Did you know that if the Zambian government, comrade, owned 100% of the gold mines, we will be able to pay back our debt in 30 days. We will be able to empower millions of young people.
Your leader has been